Welcome back to the best shaped state of Michigan. My name is Costa. I am gardening in Zone 6B in Macomb Township, Michigan. And I wanted to do a spotlight specifically and only on the Euphorbia. So I'm going to turn around and show it to you and talk to you a little bit more just about Euphorbia. Start out with my tag here. Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia, perennial, full sun. Gets to be about 2 feet tall and wide. Again, this is Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. And if you don't have any luck finding that in your searches for Euphorbia and you're coming across a cactus, try looking for Cushion Spurge or Euphorbia Spurge. You'll have better luck finding that. Again, so this one to me looks like it's possibly two plants. That the left side of it is Ascot Rainbow, and I think the right side, that is the solid green. To me, this is looking like Miner's Merlot that I can see online. And then this little part here that is just all chartreuse, I have no idea what's going on with that. I haven't found any that look just like that. So I did want to mention, I've learned in my searches this week that this is a toxic plant. So it'll have like a white substance that secretes out of it when you prune it. So if you're cutting the branches or if you were to step on it accidentally and break it off, you definitely don't want to get that on your skin. So if you plan on doing any kind of pruning or working around it, make sure you're covering your arms and your legs, wearing gloves, and for sure wear eye protection when you're going to be doing anything around this because you don't want to get that in your eyes. If you were to get any of the substance, the white milky substance, it's like Elmer's glue. If you get it on your skin, for sure wash it off. But you could experience some kind of discomfort like itching or burning, and you may even get like some kind of like dry spots or sore. So just be aware of that with Euphorbia. There are some other varieties. I'm going to show you my other one now. This one is more full color. So this is my other Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. There are a few other varieties that I found that I'm looking to get. And the first one is Bonfire. There's another one called Candy. Miner's Merlot that I mentioned that looks like more of the solid green. And here's a version here too. This part here, this one looks like Miner's Merlot to me. So I kind of wonder if these are all, if they all might have some shared characteristics that might eventually start to come out. Two more are Mountain Snow. And the one I really want to try to find, Bonfire, but then the other one is Glacier Blue, and that's going to have bring another tone of blue to the garden. So I'm making this video, like I said, because there are some videos on Ascot Rainbow that you can find, but I wanted to make this because I want to put it out there in the title to have Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia Cushion Spurge. And maybe if I can fit some of the other names in there just to give people a resource to be able to find out more about this plant, just because I love it so much. I mentioned in my, I think it was my October garden tour of my whole little landscaping bed here. This is my garden. It's all I got, but I'm proud of it and I like it. And this is what got me into gardening. So, but I have mentioned that this is one of the first plants, if not the first plant that I check on when I come out for my garage here. And it really reminds me of Vincent van Gogh paintings. It's got that look to it. It's got that abstract look. I really love abstract shapes and colors in the garden. And this just has all that. I know that these are the flowers that it puts out here. And I don't really think that's why people get it. They're definitely getting it for the foliage. The flowers are just kind of like a little bonus here. But Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia, total showstopper. It's small but mighty. So this little bed here is about not even 3 feet wide here. So to get something that can get up to only 2 feet tall and wide, I think some of the other varieties might get slightly bigger, but for something for 2 feet tall and wide, I think this is hard to beat for a perennial. And I believe, so this is actually rated on my tag anyways, Zone 7 through 10, and I'm in Zone 6B. So I think we might be learning this year if Ascot Rainbow works here or not. So that's cool. And I'm gonna trust Telly's Greenhouse in Shelby for buying this. That they didn't put something with their perennials that they don't think is gonna make it. So I'm hoping this is gonna make it. So again, my tag says Zone 7 through 10 to 0 Fahrenheit, and we're definitely gonna get to 0. We'll get to -10 we'll get to -20. We'll get to -30 with wind chills, but we'll for sure get to 0 and below 0 without wind chills. And this does require full sun. I think these would actually do better on the other side of the flower bed over there. So that's about it. I just wanted to really showcase these and to put a title out there in case people are having a harder time finding these. I've seen Ascot Rainbow mentioned in a couple other garden tour videos, but not a whole lot out there on, not enough on YouTube for as much as I think this plant is cool. So I wanted to make that for you. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this little tour. Like I said, I just wanted to make a brief video on Euphorbia Cushion Spurge, my tour Ascot Rainbow. I think it's such a cool plant, 2x2 perennial, zone 7 through 10. I'm in zone 6B, so you're gonna see with me how this fares here in its first Michigan winter. So I hope this title and video are gonna help more people discover Ascot Rainbow, Euphorbia Cushion Spurge. Thanks for watching. So, the reason that I'm adding this part on is because I recently discovered a channel on YouTube, and it's called Up at Grassy Bottom. And it's based in the UK, and Mark runs the channel. So Mark has a ton of content on Up at Grassy Bottom on Euphorbias. So if you go to this channel, and I will put a link in my description below for his channel, if you go to his search bar and you just type in Euphorbia there, you will find all of his video content on Euphorbias. He has one video in particular that's a tour that takes you through at least a dozen varieties of Euphorbias. He has a Euphorbia of his own that he has named called Malachi. And I believe that he sells cuttings of that, and I'm kind of assuming that it might only be available in the UK. Not sure if we could get that here in the States. But it's definitely worth looking into if it's something you're interested in. I do think that there's a possibility that some of the Euphorbia variety names in the UK might be different than some of the names here, if they're the same plants at all. Because I know that's kind of happens across the board for other plants, where they'll have a different name in a different country. That, like, say a grower gets it here and they want to trademark a name. So it's for things like that. So I'm not sure if that happens or not. But for sure, check out his videos on Euphorbia. He's got a ton of content. Again, the one tour has everything from a super dwarf, barely sticking out of the ground, all the way up to 6 foot tall Euphorbias like me. So for sure, check him out. And then I also saw in Steph at Hooked and Rooted in her last garden tour of the season, she pointed out that she also has Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia in her garden. So I thought that was super cool to see. Steph's one of the main channels that I follow. So I've probably seen it in the past, but I've only had my Euphorbia since this April, so I might not have paid as much attention to it. But on her last tour, when she called it out, I was like, yes, someone I follow actually has a Euphorbia. So I thought that was super cool to see. I love watching Steph and George in their garden and all the things they've done there. So, and I do think it's cool now to see from Mark showing all of his Euphorbias that it's almost like there can be a little community similar to how you would see, Japanese maples and conifers. Like, those are such specific, like, collector corners of the garden world, where people will have dozens and dozens of Japanese maples or conifers. And then there's the rose collectors or azalea collectors, hydrangeas, dahlias, zinnias, asters. So maybe there's a place for us that like Euphorbias now too. So I'm going to put a request out there. If anybody has good content for people that have a ton of varieties of Amsonias, I am definitely interested in finding more varieties of Amsonias other than the 2 that I have. And then the other one is, I think it's just Amsonia hubrechtii, which is just the basic blue star that is native here to North America. So aside from those 3, I don't know anything else. But again, I just wanted to keep this to Euphorbias. And as my way to add in Finnegan here, look who joined me. Look who joined me. That's my baby Bina. Willow Bina. Willow Bina. That's my baby. That's my baby. I love you, Bean.